Hey guys, me again, Orkslayer with this. Where we last left off, let's see, checking. Where I last left off, Death, War, and Fury were now in the middle of a broken down part of the city, surrounded by hundreds of demons, and a very powerful demon, you can consider him, named Dragnor. As Dragnor introduced himself, and I want to try and do the voice again, but I'm not sure. Give me a second. Alright, I was listening to it again because I forgot how I sounded, but he was like,
Ah, little humans coming into my territory. Hearing your screams will be a pleasure.
as then he orders his men to attack. As the Horse, Death, War, and Fury all get into a nice little circle, it's like, brother, sister, these demons have no idea who they're messing with. Well, it's like, brothers, come on, this will be easy, child's play even. Let's make a game out of it. First, whoever takes out more wins. As War says, you're on, sister, as he lets out a smile, and Death's like, huh, very well. As he summons his ghouls, as Fury whips her weapon around, and War just sort of smashes into the first few demons that come to them. As he says this, Fury, go and take out the ones up on the building. War, keep diverting their attention to you. I'll go deal with Dragnor. That's just like, brother, we cannot kill him right off the bat. Let's damage their number some first. As War pretty much grabs a demon by the head and swings it around, slamming it into several of its brethren. With Death like, War, do not let it cloud your judgment. As Death immediately forms his larger scythe, as he just starts swinging it and throwing it around, summoning ghouls and his skeletal arms to literally decimate the enemies around him. As Dragnor's like, these powers seem familiar. But no matter, the skulls shall be a pretty decoration. Except for maybe that female. As he smiles to himself, as he gives like a little chuckle. As Samael is just sitting on his throne, he's like, horsemen do offer up such entertaining. Don't you agree? As the person next to him just says, yeah, those guys got whatever they got covered. Yeah. Speaking of which, why didn't you just deal with Dragnor yourself? You could have easily wiped him out. I was like, well, you know, we leaders of heaven and hell are not really welcome to Nerf on Eden, so if I came down there for too long of a period of time, well, the angels would caught wind of it. My power is hard to contain, you could see. This person next to him says, that makes a bit of sense, I guess. As Death is going and tearing through whatever is in his way, the demons actually start saying, this ain't worth it, fall back! As they all start running away, as Dragnor like, gonna deal with a few measly humans. I guess I'll deal with them myself. As he jumps down, creating a nice little crater in the ground, as he stands up, he's like, you there, whatever your name is. You've scared off my boys, I guess. Cowards, each and every one of them. I'll take a few heads to get them back in line, though. But as for you... As he lets out a chuckle, he's like, you won't see the sunrise again. As he goes to lunge for Death. But Fury at that time was making her way around. As she jumps down, whips the whip around his neck. As she tightens it and just sort of tugs at, cutting a nice little circle around his neck. He's like, human bitch. As he tries to run at her and slice at her, War immediately just throws his sword like a freaking spear as it embeds Dragnor into the wall with his back to him. As he's like, you know, you demons have not changed in the last 10,000 years. As he's like, what? So he looks behind him as War pulls out the sword as Dragnor falls to the ground. As when he looks up and as they're like standing over him, he's like, as he's like starts saying, it's you. Oh, you're gone. You're dead. As Death says, we are never truly dead. As he raises up, he's like, wait! As he gets cut, his head is cut off finally. As Death says, good work, you two. This one wasn't much of a trouble. Would have taken longer, though, if it was just me fighting him. This is like, I agree, brother, but doesn't matter now, does it? It's like, I guess not, War. As he rubs his chin, saying, did Samael promise us something, or did we just do this for free? He's like, we did it for free, technically. Is what War says. He's like, as Dad's like, it does not matter. I'm heading home. I haven't slept in almost a week. As is like, very well, brother. Safe travels be with you. Travels be with you, brothers. War and Fury. As he teleports back home, he's like so tired. As he doesn't even like unsummon his weapons. He literally teleports up in his room, drops his sides, and just collapses onto bed. He's like, these little matters could get so tedious. As he just puts his head down on the bed, he's like, hopefully tomorrow will be less of a tiresome ordeal. As when it came down to it, they all just go along with their lives until eventually the UA Sports Festival, as Samael really hasn't shown up anytime soon, because after the fact that they destroyed that place, the demons' hideout, and a large number of the demons, the police heard of like demons were running rampant around the streets, like in fear, and so they were called in as they were putting down the demons, and a few angels who worked for them, pretty much the police force, also joined in, and some demons as well, because not all, as far as I can tell at least, not all demons are like twisted evil beings, just a lot of them though. As they dealt with their brethren, as it's like, thank you, goodbye, as back to Death, Fury, and War. Sorry, I'm yawning. But essentially, they go to UA entrance exam. As when Death is moving forward through the crowd, he actually says his goodbyes to Bakugo, considering Bakugo to actually be somewhat of a brother to him. Maybe not as powerful as his other siblings, but he considers Bakugo to be one of the ones he actually trusts a lot, since he's technically known him since he was a little kid, or since he was still just Deku. And when their souls finally merged, though, that's when, he became a bit different. Bakugo knows this, but just chalked it up to Deku just getting more mature. As Bakugo is talking with Deku, saying, so he's like, no, I want to make a bet with you. I bet you that I could get more points than you. As he's like, Bakugo, sure, why not? It's like, wait, really? He's like, yeah, you wouldn't. You've been betting me on things many times, and I've beaten you every single time. This time, I think you may have a chance, though. As he says, okay, really? Okay, let's do this. It's like, what do I get if I win? Satisfactory that you finally beat me. Is what do you get? Satisfactory if knowing that I'm still undefeated. As Bakugo says, you're on. As they sort of shake on as they make their way towards the building, as Urarok actually bumps into Deku. Or Deku bumps into her because he wasn't paying attention. As when she went to go fall, he used his skeletal arms to somewhat catch her. As he says, oh, sorry about that. I did not mean to bump into you. She's like, it's fine. She looks up to Deku. She sees we don't know what Death's face looked like, but I'll say he has like very chiseled and probably maybe not chiseled, but maybe a bit smooth looking, you could say. As she's like, hello? Are you there? She's, yes? Like, sorry for bumping into you. Me and my friend were just moving forward. She's like, oh, sorry for getting your way. Says it's my fault for bumping into you. She's like, no, it's fine. It was my fault. She's like, well, thank you for understanding. As he moves past her, Bakugo's like, well, she acted weird. Deku says, glad I'm not the only one that noticed. As eventually they go to the place and they're all waiting. Ida and Mina are all there. As Mina attended with Kirishima, Kirishima's like, man, this is so exciting. As Fury's looking around, he's like, "Are you looking for somebody?" Some people I consider very good friends. She's like, "Oh, really? Who?" She's like, "Well, there's one right there, the one with the silverish hair." As War's hair is like a silverish white color, and Ida's is like pitch black. So I just decided to combine the two. Deku stands, and then there's that one and his friend. It's like, "Oh wow, you know quite a few people here." She's like, "I know a lot of people, Kirishiba. I know a lot of people. It's just that you never really asked about anything." So, "Oh, well, sorry, I thought we were your only friends at school." She's like, "I'm a social butterfly. What do you mean?" As he's like, "Never mind." As he looks away, like someone, "I did not mean to insult her. If that's an insult, she's probably gonna kick my ass." As he's like, "Oh, okay." So he rubs like his forehead. He's like, "Whew." As when it comes down to it, Deku's listening very intently, along with Baku. And Ida doesn't have his little outburst, like, so he doesn't embarrass himself. And Deku isn't a mutter, so he's like mutter, 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 mutter. As Mina's just kicking back in her chair. As Ida's somewhat miffed at that, saying these are the same places where other people have learned to become heroes, or attended to become heroes. As they get all that out of the way, since Bakugo and Deku went to the same school, they do not operate in the same area, so I don't know how exactly all that went out. So, I'm gonna say that, sorry. Ida's still with Deku, as Ida actually walks up to Deku saying, or whichever you wish. Anytime I say a character's name that has a horseman with them, I'm just talking about that character. It's not like actually like multiple personalities in this. But as Ida walks up to Deku saying, "Brother, how's it going? I did not know we'd be in the same place." As Death says, "Ah, it's good to see you, Ida." As he has to somewhat remind himself sometimes, can't use his name, gotta use his actual human name. As he's like, "It's nice seeing you as well, Ida. So, the robots, you think they're gonna be a problem for you?" He's like, "No. Especially with my strength and speed." As Deku says, "And with my magic, this should be a breeze." He's like, "So we're not allowed." As they like said, we wouldn't really summon our weapons unless because they know that their powers seem suspect already. So they're keeping some of their powers a bit closer to their chest. So nobody really since Deku's thing is classified as magic, he has his little ghouls and his skeletal arms like being summonable, along with a crow swarm that he can also do. War has his, his blades that he can summon, as well as his like very crushing strength, and his family's quirk, which is the engines. And Mina still has her acid. And I think, well, she has a few magical abilities. Let me look them up real quick. Alright, so I got it right here on my phone right quick. So there's 4 hollows she can get. She can have the flame hollow, which is pretty much gives her ability to withstand very hot temperatures, as well as being able to cast fire and stuff like that. Then you got the storm hollow, which is wind and electricity, where she can command that. The Force Hollow, which is pretty much gravity. And then she has the Stasis Hollow, which freezes things in time and space. So for this, she'll be keeping the hollows, like as she learned them as magical abilities. So she won't use all of them. She'll keep like the space, and she'll keep the force, and what's the other one? The Force Hollow. And that's Stasis. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Force Hollow and Stasis Hollow. She keeps those close to her chest, but she openly admits she has the ability to emit acid, as well as fire and lightning to use. So those are what she considers her abilities as magical. As there's a few people here that know magical trick, especially some half hot, half cold person here. They do not just know their quirk, they were born with great magical affinity. Yay, more hell. Anyways, as Deku's making his way, he actually doesn't feel anything, since technically he's like, I thought I would most certainly find the other one here. I swear they feel like they're in Japan. I can feel it. Now that my sensory has grown greater since I've been with War and Fury. As he rubs his chin, he's like, quite perplexing. As he just sort of shrugs, he's just like, very well. As he prepares himself, as when those doors are about to open, Fury immediately lunges forward as everyone like sees him, as he's actually very quick. As Ida's like going ahead of him, he's like, "You will not surpass me yet, brother." As he laughs away, as Daeth's like, I guess I have to add another personal challenge. School my little brother. As he jumps around, immediately as he uses his skeletal arms to just bash away at robots and crush them. Using his ghouls and crows to like disorientate them as he takes them apart bit by bit. As Bakugo at this point, he's also trained really hard with daeth, so he's also way more powerful than he was in the canon. So if Bakugo was there with Deku helping take down demons, it would have actually been like if Fury or War wasn't there. So he's not as powerful as them, but he has a decent amount behind him. Especially since Bakugo, I also gave Bakugo a bit of magic, but if I didn't, sorry. He knows very little magic, because he doesn't have a lot of affinity. People say, he may get like some cool explosive or fire quirk, but actually his affinity with magic is somewhat of a rejuvenation. Because his body recognized, if you could say that, his body recognized his quirk would do damage to his body. So it's like, alright, heal. Like, we gotta find healing. So he has not an ungodly amount, but he has a very high level when it comes to healing magic. As Deku is crushing demons, Bakugo is actually unleashing full blast. Not like those little kitty blasts he does, but he evaporates like a skyscraper. Not a skyscraper. He evaporates like a horde of robots in front of him as he's getting, he got in that little blast alone, 30 points. As Bakugo and Deku are like neck and neck this entire time. Even Daeth and Fury are having difficulty keeping up with those two, as the passion for their rivalry is shooting them upwards even higher. As Bakugo's like, I'm gonna beat Deku finally. And finally, I don't know, actually. I never really thought that far ahead. He's like, As he takes that second, he blasts away 12 other robots. He's like, If I beat Deku, I'll finally have some self-satisfaction. As Deku's like, I cannot let Bakugo beat me. He will rub that in forever. As Daeth is like, oh god. As he smashes the last robot away, he's like, I haven't killed this many things since that demon invasion. As he breathes in, he's like, as he gets back to running, as War's actually up high, is up high as well, along with Mina. They're doing their jobs. As eventually, 0 pointer comes like, boing. As Daeth looks at this, he's like, well, I won't need my scythe for this, but taking that down should help a few people. As he's about ready to go leap into action, he hears a scream like, help! I need a bit of help. As Daeth and War actually see this, War's like, brother, deal with the robot. I shall save the girl. As he rushes, as he charges forward and stomps the robot's foot just as it was about to step on her rock. As everyone in the UA, little observation deck, I would call it, they're all looking down and see how Ida's like, not on my watch. As he's straining his body, he's like, Deku, hurry your ass up. As he's like, come on. As he starts lifting with his legs, as he starts pushing the robot back a bit, as the robot applies more of its own body weight to it, as Ida's like, damn it, as he's just in a stalemate somewhat, as Deku says, I wouldn't recognize you, leave him alone. As Deku summons his scythe real quick, as he cuts a panel in the back, He starts ripping and tearing parts out of this robot's neck as it just starts short-circuiting as the head blows up, and then its body just falls backward, crushing a bit of the city with it. Deku says, as Doors like collapses to the ground on his hands and knees. He's like, damn it, that hurt a lot more than it should have. As he's somewhat shaking because adrenaline is pumping through him, he's like, these humans have adrenaline. As a Nephilim, we don't know much about their biology, but I'm guessing they're just human on steroids, on steroids, on steroids. So they had adrenaline before, but he's like, these humans adrenaline? It's not the same as our Nephilim. But it suffices. As he gets up, he's like, damn it. As he holds his back, he's like, I'm gonna feel that in the morning. As Deku says, are you alright, Ida? And says, I'm fine, Deku. Oh, that hurts. As Recovery Girl's like, is anyone hurt? As like, yeah, two people over here. As Ida just like collapses to the ground. It's like, oh dearie me, that's not good. Would you be a dear and help him out? Take him to the medical area. It's like, very well, Miss Recovery Girl is all right with you, Sonny. As he's like, yes, ma'am. As he goes over and kisses Ochako, like giving her leg back up, as well, you know, that's how it works. And Bakugo comes out feeling triumphant. He's like, he destroyed the 0-pointer. He took out hundreds of robots. Deku better have the luck to beat that. As Deku comes over and says, so Bakugo, what was your point score? It's like, I destroyed well over 100 robots. As Death's like, shoot, I destroyed 90. As he's like, how many was that? As he's like, I destroyed 90. He's like, say it, I destroyed 90. He's like, haha. It's like, we said whoever got the most points, not whoever destroyed the most robots. He's like, either way, one's the win. As Deku's like, I destroyed the 0-pointer. Same here. Who do you think you're talking to? Deku's like, well, I tried. As they wait, eventually they get the letters as Deku actually contacts Bakugo. As he actually somewhat opens, since he has a computer, he actually opens a call with with all of them. As even Kirishima's like, hey, guys, I'm Kirishima. It's a pleasure to meet you. He's like, yeah, we met you before. As they all say, all right, we all got our things right. Open on 3. 1. As they all rip their things open. A little disc falls out as each of them get their things said to them. It's like, dear students, you have been accepted into UA, and I am all might here to congratulate you. And I want to welcome you all into Class 1A, the Hero Course. As then he goes on for a general amount of details, till eventually says, and I hope you all have good luck, as he puts his thumb out. As everything is personalized, really, so he has a few separate things to say about each of them. For Ida, it's about your strength and determination in the entrance exam was great seeing, young Ida. Then it goes to Fury. It's like, your agility and variety of attacks greatly assisted you. Not Fury, but Miss Mina Shido. Kirishima Ejiro. Your quirk, though as many would call it plain, is a great asset and is most welcomed at UA. Bakugo Katsuki, your healing magic and your explosions will prove devastating to any foe that comes before you. And finally, as he goes, and Izuku Midoriya. Though strange your powers may be, and some may look down upon necromancy, you seem to use your power for the ultimate good of this world. As then he holds a thumb up, and that's all right for me. Anyways, I wish to thank you all and welcome to UA. As then he's like, I gotta do how many of these? On each of them, as each of them laughs, like, we got to UA, boys! Yahoo! As they're all excited now, as Deku's just like, this feels nice. As elsewhere, another person's just like, UA is gonna be in a while. Maybe I'll meet my brothers and sister there. I wonder what they'll all think of me when they find me. As the person just smirks and closes the laptop, he's like, well, time to get sleep. As when you zoom out, you see it's a very nice house where they live in, with a very big room and big bed. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys continue to enjoy this. And I hope you guys have a nice day, nice night, nice life.